Welcome back. This is what, episode 9. We're starting to get there. We're going to take a look at today. We're going to do it a little bit different. We're going to take a look at two different things because they are really small. We're going to actually look at skins and tooltip. Now, the other thing that I have downloaded that you may want to take a look at, and I'll put a link in the description for this, but you might want to take a look at add-on skins because what this does is this goes in and modifies. For example, I use it to modify recount. Um, but what skins are is the look of whatever item it is um, it's looking at. So, for example, recount, as you can see, my recount is different than the normal recount window. It's add-on. It's these skins that change it. Now, with ElvUI, you can look at both the Blizzard and what's called Ace Tree. This is just another add-on that I have, skins. And by putting a check mark, this is what has been modified by the skins. If you take the check mark out, it won't modify it. I haven't done a whole lot of changing on this, and I don't plan on it because it really does skin everything that I want to have skinned. The other thing with the additional module add-on skins is these are some of the other add-ons that I'm running right now that it also skins. You can select to remove the parchment, which I've done. So let's say in your, and I can't show it because he is a level 1. Just to let you guys know, I am going to go through on my level 100 characters and show you some of the things that I can't show you here. But with Altaholic, with Auctionator, Master Planner. Master Planner is an add-on that I use for um, my garrison missions. So by putting a check mark in here, it will modify it to look like the rest of my UI. And same thing with the rest of these. Here's recount. As you can see, it modified recount for me. Now, for boss mod options, you can set this up as well. I don't use this, but you can. And again, you can set your font. Let's say I want to use it. I hit Expressway. Now, this right here, I was reading there is actually a bug, and if you select this, you need to set your font size to 15. By doing that, it will actually start working properly. And I haven't seen a fix for it other than selecting this and resetting your font size to 15. That's it. And then you could set your transparency on your DBM radar. So it'll be see-through. So your little, I usually put my radar window right down here. So if I hit /RANGE R8, um, for, oh, maybe I don't have DBM loaded. Yeah, I don't have DBM loaded. That's why that didn't work. But if I did, it would set up a transparency window right there for me. And these are some of your embedded settings. So if you want, you can set a single embedded system for your, let's say your damage meter. You can use it for Omen, SCADA, and set it for recount and even tidy plate DPS. Again, I don't set a single, I just use recount and it already modifies that for me. And these are just some of your different settings. So you can set it to hide on out of combat when you do set your single. You can embed transparencies, which I have done. And some of these other selections are only available if you use a single embedded system. So you can play with that if you want. That's fine. I don't use it. Okay, so here's the other thing is you can also set the parchment as um, enabled or disabled. And then you can set your skin transparency. I like to set it to transparent. This also works with weak aura bars, and you can also set your skin debug if you want. I don't use it. Um, that's just another. I usually don't set anything in, and these are just your credits. That's it for your skins, and that's why I said we're going to go to the second one, which is your tooltips. And this again is also fairly easy to set up. Um, and first of all, you need to enable it. So your tooltip would basically give you any information. As you can see, mine's set up right here on the right-hand side. So this is any information that you have about either a particular spell, or you could also get information about an individual player by mousing over them. You can either mouse over the unit frame here, or if you're in a party, you can mouse over that as well. Same thing with your bosses and stuff like that. So this is your general settings right here. And we've enabled it. You can also anchor it to your to your mouse cursor, so it would float. If we do that real quick, you see how it stays on my mouse. I like to set it out of my way, and we'll do that in a minute. And when you mouse over, it gives you target information. Um, when you're in a raid group, it displays if anyone in your raid or party frame or party, by the way, is targeting that current target. You can decide whether you want titles to show up. So currently, I have, what do I have set for a title? I let's just say I am, it's currently set for let's set it for, oh, I don't know, let's call myself Peacekeeper. So what you're going to see when I mouse over is my title and then the character's name. And it tells you that he's a level 3 human paladin. As you can see, it also puts his health on there, how much he has. And that's what the title does. And then if I was in a guild, if this character was in a guild, then it also shows his guild rank. And it displays the spec he's running as well. And when moving over, mousing over a spell or item on the tooltip. So this is what enables this. Okay. Item count, you can decide whether you want bags, bank only, or both. So if we set this to both, when I go to my bag, it'll tell you how many I have in both, where it says count and then count and bank 0. I don't have any in my bank of these. If I did, it would show you how many were in my bank. And then the other thing too is if you look at right below where it says total owned, and then it has right above there, it has the character name, and it says 4. And I have 4 in my bags. If I had 4 in my bank, it would also say 4 in bank or void storage or wherever else you had it stored. So that is another possibility. All right, so we're going to set the outline to the font outline to outline, and then we're going to make sure that it's set on Expressway. Um, And this is your header font size, which is 16. We haven't changed that in your text font size. Okay. And then comparison font size is 16. So we're setting everything to 16. Now, these are your faction colors. So that's how, for example, when you notice how this one's red, when I mouse over this guy way out here in the distance, that's because he's hated. If I could find a neutral, you would see that it would be a yellow color and then friendly would be green. Now here's your visibilities on your tooltips. You can set your action bar tooltips to never hide, or you can set it to always hide. You can use a modifier key. And same things with bags and same thing with unit frames. You can set them whether you want them to hide or not. I like to set hide tooltip in combat so that it doesn't pop up if I'm in the middle of combat. And then health bar. You can have the text enabled, and we're going to leave it at 10 because this is going to be um, smaller than anything else on your or on your tooltip. We want that a little bit smaller. And then tooltip height is 7. You can change this to whatever you want. But 7 seems to work fairly well for me. So now the next thing that we have to do is we have to go in and toggle where we want our tooltips. Okay. Now the thing is it's kind of a little bit weird that, okay, if I want it right above my recount, I put it there, I lock it, right? Well, it's not quite there, is it? It's a little bit higher than that. It's just the way that it works. So I've learned that if I actually take it and set it somewhere in this area, that when I mouse over, it puts it right above my recount. And then when you mouse over an individual, it's basically the same. It does have the help bar a little bit below that. And if you want to adjust it a little bit more, maybe I want it just a little bit higher. This will take the actual tooltip off just a little bit, but it puts the unit information right over the top of the frames. So that covers skins, tooltips, and then the add-on skins and how you can go about modifying this. These are Blizzard skins, by the way, that you can also either modify or not modify. It's up to you. All right, so that's it for today. We're getting close to the end. Let's see, what do we got left? We have the next one is going to be a big one. We're going to skip over movable frames. That's a simple one. But what we're going to do next is we're going to do unit frames. And unit frames are a little bit bigger. So as you can see, you set up all of your unit frames. And what that means is all of these things right here. Your boss, your arena, um, your raid frames. And as you can see, I adjusted one of them already just playing with it. But you've got party frames. You've got your main tank frame and um, your off tank frame. So there's a whole lot of frames to set up, and a lot of them are the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up the first one. We'll set up the player frame, and then we'll set up the target frame, and then we'll probably work on target and focus frame and adjust those the way we want them. The rest of them are pretty much the same until you get to, say, the party frame and the raid frames. You can set up the same type of information on them. So when we get to that point, I may set up some boss frames and arena frames for you so you can see those. But then the party frames, and raid 40 will be a little bit different. We'll probably get into them on a different one. But as far as that goes, that's all we have for today. We'll see you later. Don't forget to like and subscribe and add your comments down the bottom. Let me know what you think. Is there anything else that you want to see with ElvUI? If so, I'll see if I can add that in. I am going to do a miscellaneous at the end, which is going to basically cover everything that you haven't seen already. So again, let me know in the comments what you think, and if there's anything specific that you'd like to see. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.